images are part of the basis for a lawsuit filed against the Washtenaw Intermediate School District, a teacher, principal, and 2 aides. Today, an attorney for the family of Rosa Smith discussing the physical abuse she allegedly took over many years at High Point School in Ann Arbor, the psychological and emotional harm as well.
These weren't accidents, and there was abuse going on.
Rosa suffers from cerebral palsy, and it's alleged the teacher had her mouth taped shut to keep her quiet.
They blamed Rosa for scalding hot coffee being poured on her. They blamed Rosa for coming home with bruises on her. They even blamed Rosa for being too loud, and that's why they had to gag and bound her.
The lawsuit also states hot coffee was spilled on Rosa, causing third-degree burns as far back as 2004. The school district tells Action News they have taken remedial action after conducting their own investigation.
We can make sure that no one else is being abused, and we can stop the abuse from taking place. Had they fulfilled their legal duty 10 years ago, it could have prevented a lot of the torture that Rosa underwent.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit you with a video. Now this video right here is about a Michigan student and a teacher also, and the shameful things that this school allowed to happen to this little girl right here is very sad. Even though she's not a little girl per se for as her age or whatnot, but for as her mentality and who she is. You know, this woman has cerebral palsy, and for those who don't know what cerebral palsy is, let me give you a quick definition of what it is. Cerebral palsy, better known as CP, is a disorder that affects muscle tone, movement, and motor skills, the ability to move in a coordinated and purposeful way. CP usually is caused by brain damage that happens before or during a baby's birth, or during the first 3 to 5 years of a child's life. So this is basically a female, a woman, you know, with no motor function. She can't control her motor skills, even really pretty much her actions. Kind of like you're in a vegetation state, but you're awake, though, for those of you who all know what that means also. But any way it goes, it's still a very sad situation that you would have this woman, this young lady in this predicament, and you have these teachers in this school district and the principal and everybody letting this type of things happen to this young woman. It's totally uncalled for. Now, the family of a woman with cerebral palsy is reportedly suing the Washtenaw Intermediate School District and certain staff members, and claimed that she was physically and emotionally abused since 2004. It's been going on for a long time, and I'm so glad that somebody had caught it, and I'm so glad that the lawyer is there telling the truth, standing beside this young lady, and basically holding his ground beside hers, because that's what you need. You know, in this country, this whole country is ran by lawyers. You know, if you notice, most of the people in Congress, Senate, or the House or whatnot are lawyers. Barack Obama and them lawyers. You know, everybody lawyers. So get you a good lawyer, and you can see some stuff change seriously. Now, the family of a woman with cerebral palsy is reported suing her former school district, alleging years of non-approved physical and emotional abuse. Rosa Smith, now 26 years old. I didn't even know she was 26 years old. I thought she was about 18 or 19. Allegedly suffered repeated case of abuse while she attended the school in Washtenaw Intermediate School District in Ann Arbor, Michigan, WFSG reported. And for those of you who might know where that school at, you need to go petition that school, and you need to really, you know, get some answers and some closure for this young woman right here, because that is totally uncalled for. That could have been my child. That could have been your child or anybody else's child. And just because this child was born, this young woman was born with this deficiency, cerebral palsy, it does not warrant, it does not mean that people have a right to take advantage of her just because she's in this certain type of state, you know, because that could be you one day, or that could be your children or loved ones also. You want to treat people how you want to be treated, like the good book says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And this is very sad that this woman goes to a school where you have supposedly quote unquote teachers that love and care about you, you know. And that's the sad thing about it, that you have people getting jobs now. These jobs, I know you got to pay your bills, you got to make a living, but it's certain fields you shouldn't go in, you know, with an evil heart, with malice in your heart and mind, unless you going into some type of field where you're gonna have to You know, when you're dealing with children, you ought to go in there with love in your heart, even with people with these deficiencies, whether they're mildly retarded or whether they have Down syndrome. They should hire only certain people in there, make them go through a screening process also, because you're dealing with people with specific special needs. Simple as that. It's not like you can hire the same person to do a janitor work as working with these kids. You know, you need certain type of people to deal with these people in this predicament, people with love and compassion in their heart that would never sit up here and pour hot coffee on the girl, you know, just do her wrong and you hit on her and everything. You know, it's sad. Now, the lawsuit reportedly names the district, the school, the principal, a teacher, and 2 teachers' aides as defendants, and claims that cases of abuse date back as far as 2004. So this has been going on for years. Now, specific opportunities including slapping Smith's face, slapping this young woman's face, locking her in a bathroom and spills hot coffee on her lap. She was coming home with burnt marks all on her legs and everything, and her waist area from these people dumping hot coffee on her, basically worse than a dog. Something that you wouldn't even do a dog like that, or better yet, a dead dog like that. So how can you feel it and put it in your heart to do a human being like that? You know, that's why I tell you all, these people in these school districts, for these teachers having sex with these young kids and everything, you know, mostly women. And it's like the men, they want the boys, you know, they don't even want the girls, which is just as nasty, but to even go a little step further and be even nastier, they want the little boys in the school. Now, we hear the story about the coaches, like one coach gave a lot of his students AIDS and stuff. Like, how in this hell is these people doing this stuff and y'all don't even see no signs of nothing, you know? And wherever there's smoke at, I'm pretty sure there's fire. You know, so these people walking around you smoking all day long, but you don't see the signs there's fire underneath. I don't understand that. Now, as recently as March 2016, the lawsuit also claims that Smith's teacher, Nessa Johnson, let me say her name again, Nessa Johnson, covered the student mouth with tape because she was making noises. Basically put tape all on her mouth to keep her from making noises. And anybody been around these people know that they are not in their right minds, because that's why they're in predicament, the shape they are in. So they're going to make noises, they're going to do things, they might make those funny strange sounds or whatnot. But you being an adult and being grown and taking up this responsibility as you're going to, you know, be responsible for this person in your care, because when the parents drop these whether it's their children or whether it's somebody with these special needs, you still are responsible for that person. So you don't even have enough respect for this person as being a human being to not, you know, put duct tape on her mouth, put tape on her mouth, then pour hot coffee on her, slap the girl. That's pretty sad right there. And whoever this Nessa Johnson is, the police need to lock her funky ass up and deal with her ass. Now, you gonna do this girl like that just because she was making noises? Hell, everybody make noises, you know. Anyway, cerebral palsy reportedly makes it extremely difficult for Smith to move around and communicate well. These were not accidents and there was abuse going on, Jonathan Marco, the family's lawyer, said. They blamed Rosa for hot coffee being poured on her. She blamed Rosa for coming home with bruises on her. They even blamed Rosa for being too loud, and that is the reason why she had to gag and bound her. Now, who want to take their damn child, even though she's 26, but just because she's 26 does not mean that she's able to operate as a grown person. Just like if you have somebody who's 46 with certain type of illnesses, whether it's mild retardation, Down syndrome, or things like that, you know, just because they're a certain age does not mean their brain has matured and all of a sudden they just snap out of whatever illness or deficiency they have. You know, this stuff stay with these people for a lifetime. So for this teacher and these people to blame this girl for the reason why the coffee was poured on her and the reason why she was getting hit and the reason why they had to put tape over her mouth is very sad. You know, that's just like doing a child like that, because when you look at this woman, even though she's 26, it still puts you in the mind frame of a child. So you have to treat her and you know, go about handling her just like a kid, because she's delicate. You know, she can't even bend her arms and wrists a certain way. You grab her arm a certain way, you're gonna break her arm. You know, I don't understand these type of people and why have no criminal charges been brought against these people, but yet it's still they lock people up for jaywalking, they lock people up for the stupidest shit. But the people that's in these schools messing over these kids, screwing them, having sex with them, and whooping their asses, You know, in some cases, killing them. Like the guy Kendrick not Jenkins. I think it was Kendrick Johnson, the guy that went to the Vikings high school and they found his organs missing. He was wrapped up in a mat. It's so strange how all this stuff is happening in these schools these days. You know, I don't understand that. Now, had the school complied with with their statutory duty 10 years ago, it could avoid many of the tortures Rosa underwent, the family's lawyer said. The school involved has reportedly taken action with regard to the situation and said if the subject of this lawsuit, the family did not report this or any other complaint to the district until almost a year later. So the school was pretty much saying, well, they didn't say nothing about it, or they didn't report it till later. Well, maybe they was working on a case. Maybe they was trying to get up enough evidence like the FBI do. The FBI don't do 1 count, 2 count. They get your ass for 30, 40 counts. Maybe they were trying to get enough counts on your ass so they can handle it. But for the school to say that the parents and the people did not respond in a timely time frame is very crazy. Like, okay, so they have a certain period of time to sit up here and file a lawsuit, and you keep abusing their damn child every time they send it to the school. You know, let me know what that's about right there. And it's just very sad. It goes on to say some more things. But what would you do if this was your child? Let me know that right there. And when you look at this person with this woman, when you look at this woman, you can't help but feel sorry for her if you got some kind of heart, unless you're some kind of monster. And if you're that, you know, this video wasn't for you anyway, because, you know, as we speak for the children, as we speak for the adults, the men and the women, we also have to speak for the people who cannot speak for themselves, speak for the people who's voiceless. You know, that's the point, you know. And not too many people cover this story. Only very few people cover this story, but it's amazing. If R. Kelly pee on somebody, it'd be everywhere. It's amazing when Tamar and all this stuff happened, or Wendy Williams faint. It's all everywhere. But when it comes to people in special need that don't have a voice for themselves, nobody's opening up or speaking for them, but very few people. And to those people who spoke on this girl behalf, I salute y'all, this woman behalf. I salute you all, and may God bless you for that, because trust me, if you live long enough, whether you're retarded or whether you have any kind of deficiencies, the way you come in this world as helpless as a baby is the way you're going to leave this world one day, old and helpless as a baby also. So remember that. And how would you feel if you old and somebody doing you like that? You know, think about that. Anyway, let me know what you all think. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like, subscribe. Till next time, stay blessed. I'm out.